couples in the DMV. We have Gil and Pam Nelson. So we're doing something a little different this morning. And I just want to welcome Pam and Gil Nelson. They're our power couple. I'm so excited to have you here. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be sitting with you guys. Yes, I believe in giving honor where honor is due, and they are an amazing couple. And I just would like to say that I'm excited about this season of your life and what I've been watching since I've known you. And so, introduce yourselves, because I could never have enough words to tell you who you are. So, could you start off just saying hello to the world?
Hello, everyone. I'm Pamela Nelson. I'm married to this great guy right here, Gil Nelson. We've been married for 20 years, and we are writers, we are producers, we are actors. He's a director. I'll let him say more about himself. But I'm a mother. We're parents of 2 kids. So.
Yep. I'm Gil Nelson. Been at this for a little bit. Happy to be here. Thank you guys for having us. Looking forward to meeting and greeting new people and telling our story and continuing this journey we on.
That's awesome. Well, before we go any further, I would be remiss without going back and asking everybody, how was your week? How was your week? What was the highlight of your week?
Resting.
Busy.
Getting business done.
Busy.
Yeah.
My week was kind of crazy, and I'm like, okay, Saturday's here, so weekend's supposed to be fun time. So I always just like to touch base to see how everybody's doing. So 20 years of marriage. What does that look like? Could you talk to and speak to that for the people by, doing all the wonderful things you do? Could you just share with us 20 years of marriage and still going for your goals, your dreams, your aspirations? What does that look like? I'm trying to learn. I aspire to be like that.
It looks like this.
I know that.
You just gotta love and like the one you with. You know.
See, that's it. That's my problem. Well, that explains my situation. Okay.
I mean, I guess it's like any other. Well, I can't speak on other relationships. Only ours. We love one another. We still like each other. We still do fun things.
That's awesome.
And we're kind of like-minded in a sense.
Wow.
Of making sure we spiritually connected. We both love the Lord. We make sure we communicate with one another, and we still have fun.
I know that's right.
We have hard times, but the good outweighs the bad.
So may I ask, what inspired you to go into acting, Gil? And Pam, what inspired you to follow suit? What's your inspiration?
Well, I've been, when I was young, as a child, I always was a storyteller. So I was always fascinated with television. And I would look at TV like all day. And then I can remember one day in particular, my mother was in a rush to leave out. And I was looking at TV, and she got upset and said, you're looking at that. I used to believe everything on TV was real. So once she said you could do that, it kind of like a bell went off in my head, and then I knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't go right into it then. Mm-hmm. I did it in elementary school and stuff like that, little kid plays and all that. But once I got older and went to college, actually I walked in the wrong building. And the professor actually was in there, and that's how I got introduced to theater.
Oh, okay.
And then I've been doing it ever since. I love it, and I love storytelling. It's not enough of our stories being told.
Yes,
So,
I agree.
And that's what we're trying to do. I just love it, and I kind of pulled her in. By default. She got into it by default, but she actually is pretty good. It's a funny story because we were rehearsing for a play, and she was standing in. The young lady she was reading for, Pam was reading for, was coming in from out of town to do it, but she couldn't do it. And so I told Pam that I need her to do it. And at first, of course, she said, "Hell no." And then,
Did you get scared, Pam?
Oh, I still get scared. Especially for theater, because you can't stop.
Ain't
you
no
know,
do-overs.
Ain't no do-overs. Not with theater. You know, with TV, you can say cut. You know,
Yeah.
but not with theater. So
Yeah.
theater is much more. It's hard.
But she
Makes
came
me
she came in and killed it. Actually, she really did a really good job. But I couldn't advertise that she was in it because I didn't want people to take the production as a joke.
Right.
Like, oh man, this dude got his wife in this position. I ain't messing with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they know that ain't what she do at that time.
Right.
But once she did it, then they all, you know, oh man, they like her as an actress, and now she, you know, but she put in a lot of work to.
Yes, I watched you guys on Loyal and Trust. I was like, yes, that's Pam. I love it. Yes. So, your shows have sold out. All of your shows have sold out. That
wonderful.
speaks volume. That
That's
speaks
wonderful.
volume. And so I'm looking so forward to the next coming shows. Tell us a little bit about the next one that's coming up in August, correct?
Correct.
Correct, yes.
Go ahead.
So our next production is Family Affair, and we're putting it out on August the 25th. It's a Sunday, and it's at 3:00 p.m. and it's going to be at the Bowie Center for Performing Arts.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we started there last year. We had started off at the Atlas on 8th Street, and then we moved to the Arc, and the Arc was just getting too tight. Nice venue, but just too tight, too small. We were just
Yeah,
selling out. So we tried to, so then we moved to the Bowie Center for the Performing Arts last year, and we had a great turnout. We had another sellout show. So we're going to do the Bowie Center again this year for the play in
Yeah.
August.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm going to ask you both, what is your favorite character?
In the plays, or
Just anything that you know. What's your favorite character?
Oh God, so I can cry like really, really easily when it comes to acting. So
Yeah.
I'm known for the crying roles, even though the first role that I
yeah,
was
she ain't
in,
crying in this next one yet.
yeah, I was like, no more crying. Everybody knows when I come out, oh God, she's gonna cry. You know, so I've had those real emotional, you know, roles, you know, where you gotta find that inner, you know, strength to get out all the emotions out. And I'm like, but the first role for me was Nylons, and I was a dancer. That was one of my favorite roles
Okay.
because it was my first, and
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I got to dance. I love to dance.
So by her being able to cry at a drop of a dime, how does that work in real life? You say, are you for real, or is this just dramatic?
Oh, I don't cry. I don't be doing no crying. You know. But it's
for
just that when
acting.
you read a character and, you know, you try to bring the most out of that character, for me, crying for some reason
Well,
is
them
easy.
particular roles, it called for that because the character was going through an emotional roller coaster,
Okay.
and so it wouldn't, you know, we wouldn't, you know, I definitely wouldn't have her just crying just to cry, you know, but it calls for it because what that character was going through at that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So your favorite character, Gil?
I like if I had to pick in the productions that we've actually produced, I like Loyal in the TV series that we wrote, only because that character is real close to me in real life.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of like me. We're a little different, but we got a lot of similarities.
Okay.
He's really laid back, but he's actually real calculated on how he thinks and his decision making, and that's kind of how I am in real life. So I kind of, you know, even though I didn't write the character as me in particular, just so happened that during the writing process, we end up having a lot of similarities.
That's awesome. So, would you think? Would you say that in the DMV that there's enough support for, our people? Do you believe that our people support our people here in the DMV? Because that's one of the things that Sassy Sister is so.
Yes.
We are adamant about of supporting our people, highlighting our people. Bringing more knowledge, information, and resources right to our own, right here in the DMV.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Absolutely, it's plenty of support here. When you got situations like Lavelle and Vernon, for instance, their last play the Giz at the MGM, they had 3,000 people show up. So the support is definitely here. I think what people miss is that it's bigger than just the support. It's about the product.
The product.
A lot of people don't focus on the product enough, and then they wonder why the support ain't there enough. And there's a lot of things that factor into that. When you do it, the day you're doing it, the price, your marketing, all that factors into that. But overall, I think if you really focus on the product itself, you got something to build on, and that's what we try to focus on.
I like that.
When we doing the production, I don't really think about the people coming yet. At first, we gotta make sure the product right, because even if they show up, I don't care if 50,000 showed up. If it's bad,
Right.
50,000 probably won't show up for the next one.
That's it.
I'm in agreement, and people say you gotta leave DC in order to make it. You gotta, and I'm like, this is my home. If I leave, it's because I desire something else. But why do we have to leave?
Now let me tell you something about leaving. I lived in LA for 6.5 years, and some of the productions and product that's put out there. We're not talking about the Hollywood stuff, of course, because they got big budgets.
Yeah, they have.
But I'm talking about this stuff where you got independent people producing. You're gonna see good and bad wherever you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some people get a tremendous amount of support. Like a mentor of mine's out there, Brandy Burks. Kelselman, I'm sorry, Brandy. She got married. She got a lot of support. And then, I've known people there that, nobody really shows up, and, so it's all in how you do it, how you brand it, and the product you're putting out. I'm a real big believer in the product will sell itself.
That's
Exactly.
good.
That's
good.
true.
And by the grace of God, all our shows have actually sold out.
Yeah.
So the support is there, and I think the more we do it, the better we get. The word gets out more. So
Yeah.
I think the support is actually good. It can be anything can be better, and anything can be worked on.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I feel like all it takes is a share. You know, social media is very powerful. So
Yes, it is.
you could just share it and.
Sharing
That's
the
supporting it
information.
right there.
Yeah.
But and that social media thing is a little tricky because you got those peekaboos. That's what I call them.
Come on now.
They on your page,
Perpetrate,
but they not
They're not
saying
doing
nothing.
Yep.
Just
They
watch
won't
them.
say
They're
nothing.
just there.
They won't comment. They won't like. They won't share. But they watching.
Isn't
They're
that
trying to figure out
terrible?
what you're doing.
Isn't that terrible?
It's funny to me, but like I always say, I'm real grateful for all the people that even mentioned it. Even if you never showed up ever,
Yeah.
just for
Just
mentioning
sharing
it,
the
you
information.
actually,
Yeah.
doing us a
That
favor.
shows a lot.
And for all those peekaboos, don't watch us. Watch our moves. We know you out there watching, and that's why we're gonna keep doing what we do, keep being who we be,
Yes.
and keep on shining. Keep, because that's great. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt to share.
It
doesn't
doesn't.
hurt.
It's free. It's like
Yeah. One of the hardest things in the world though is for people to be rooting for you and happy for you, even when their situation is not that great.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing
That
for
is,
people.
yes.
You know, I mean,
that
it's
is a
tough for
big
people,
fact.
and so I understand it. So that's why I ain't never mad at
Well, I don't
nobody or upset.
understand it because I'm a believer in bless those. I celebrate with those. I bless those so that when it's my time that someone will celebrate with my blessings as well.
Yeah,
It doesn't
return.
hurt, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to, you know, and I'm so excited, you know, about what you guys are doing. And your play that's coming in LA, because my daughter, Demetria, was like, well, I'm going to the show in LA because, you know, she's on the
Yeah.
West Coast. So when will that show
Yeah.
be in
We're
LA?
doing that one after we do the one here.
Yeah,
Um,
later in the year.
So when we went to the Play Awards this year, we actually flew to LA to look at some venues while we were on the West Coast, and we got a few in mind. So we'll probably do that play doing this in August, probably like November.
So, Demetria, you're going to have to come home for August to see the play or wait till November in LA.
No, the one we doing in LA is No Time.
The one,
we did
No
last
Time.
year.
the one we did last year.
Oh, okay.
That's the one we're taking to LA.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
well,
we
she
bring
said
it- we bring a
she's
whole new one
adamant.
this
She
year.
says, I'm going to see Pam and Gil in LA. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm so excited. So we're going to take a commercial break and don't go nowhere. Stay tuned because we're coming back with some great stuff that Pam and Gil is going to share with you and how you can find them. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
singular, even if it's singular. Even if it's singular, even if it's singular, even if it's singular. Even if it's singular, even if it's singular, even if it's singular. Even if it's singular, even if it's singular, even if it's singular. Even if it's singular, even if it's singular.
All right, so we're back with Sassy Sisters Real Talk, and we have Gil and Pam Nelson as our special guest. Our topic for today, again, is power couples. So we just want to continue to elaborate on this phenomenal couple and the mighty power moves that they're making. So I'm going to let you guys continue to share the endeavors that you are doing. I would like to know, do you think in the near future, do you see yourself doing workshops or training or recruiting like the youth or young people? How do you do your scouting for your plays?
Pam tell me a lot. She told me a lot of times that that I should do some acting classes and stuff like that. It's just that when I do something, I'm all in. So I don't have to do anything. So right now, my schedule and my time and laying out like how I would want to, the information I would want to teach, that it takes time to do that. Because I've been in some acting classes that they winging it, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? What the hell are they talking about? You know? And so I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
I want to be one to, when you leave, you really, you know, you really learn something. But that's something we definitely going to look into in the future. Yeah, because I
awesome.
definitely, actually, right here, right now, I want to say we're going to have like 3 children. I didn't even tell her this. 3 children, not us.
Oh,
children.
This ain't real life.
I'm like,
No,
damn,
we
congratulations.
No way.
We want 3 young people that I'm going to have shadow me through this next production.
That would be
So
awesome.
if they want to learn from top to bottom, they're going to be able to sit there, hear everything I say, be able to take notes,
That's
be able to
nice.
watch how I direct, watch how I do the behind the scenes, the production side of it,
Wow.
and walk them through the whole 9 of a real live production.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that hands-on training, you know, it's a lot versus sitting
in a
there
class.
and
That's
trying to
awesome.
picture what's going on.
Yeah.
You'll actually see it. So we're gonna do that with like 3. I'm gonna put it out there probably right before we do the table read and stuff, so they can be a part of the whole everything.
That's awesome.
Nice, man.
It is.
And how would you choose these young people? Would you have them write an essay or something?
I
What
probably
you gonna challenge them?
I'm unsure right now. I might do it on the first come first serve basis. It depends on the response. Hopefully we get somebody to show up. But
Oh yeah, you will. You will.
I would be
That-
shocked if no one showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good opportunity.
yeah, that's something
a good
I
opportunity.
wanna do because I wanna definitely try to give back because people, you know, they help me out a lot
Yes.
in a lot of different ways.
And I'm a
lot.
strong believer in each one teach one. We share
Yep.
the information. I believe that as we pour out of ourselves into people, when we do leave this earth, we never die because we have poured out value and virtues and
Yeah.
Absolutely.
to whoever that is that we poured out to, that we live on. So I think that's amazing that you're gonna take the time out to
Yeah, because that
have
next
young
that
people
next
shadow you.
that next person might just need that push,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they could be the next, you know, great playwright that's sitting at
wonderful.
home
Yeah.
waiting on opportunity that their parents or them themselves, you know, because everybody can't just fly to LA like
Yeah.
like you know I was blessed to do.
Well, y'all can write my play. It's called a baby, a trash bag, and a stroller. No, seriously, that's the name of my first book that will be published. A baby, a trash bag, and a stroller. So
Are you serious?
I am so serious.
Oh, wow.
I'm
I'm
so
just
serious.
playing.
I'm so serious. Yes, and it's
Gotcha.
about starting all over again, coming back from the grave.
Well, I think everybody's interested and everybody have a story to tell. And, you know, our mission statement for the company is to tell stories that mainstream Hollywood don't tell.
Yes.
That's right.
You know,
That's
we want to bridge
awesome.
that gap.
It's a lot of stuff that they don't tell.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Pam, what would you say to a woman to inspire a woman that desires to be in the theatrics or to follow their purpose and their passion? What could you say to encourage someone out there today?
You gotta believe in yourself. I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, a lot of other people ain't gonna believe in you either.
That's right.
And you can't listen to the naysayers. You know, you gonna always have them, and then you gonna have the ones that's rooting for you, but behind your back, they like,
Praying against you.
She ain't gonna make it. She
But
ain't gonna
yeah, I would just say believe in yourself. You know, it's not something that happens overnight. You know, you just gotta take your time and do your homework and take the steps needed to pursue and to get to wherever you want to go in life.
That's awesome. And so, Gil, for you, the same question. What would you tell a young man or a man that is desiring greatness or wants to birth whatever it is they have in them?
Just go for it.
Go for it.
I'm a believer, and I don't put my foot in the water to see if it's cold. I dive in and I adjust to the temperature.
I know that's right. I love it.
Because if you put your foot in and test it, you might not never get in.
That's good.
And that's how people look at life. They wait for everything to line up perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be once I finish this. Once I get enough of this. Once I get enough of that.
That's right.
Nah, man, just go.
Just go
I
for
love
it.
And do it at whatever
Just
level you
go.
are at that moment, and try to surround yourself by people who doing the same thing and like-minded people. You know?
That's awesome. Just go. Y'all hear that? Just go.
Go.
Just jump in the water. Just go. Just do it.
I can't tell you how many sets I done sat around and been on just learning stuff that I ain't got nothing to do with. I'm asking, what you do? You know, what how does that relate to what everybody else doing?
Yeah.
Oh no, I do this. One guy, he helped with the sound, so he was an assistant on this particular set. And all he do is make sure everything plugged up.
Wow,
That was his job.
that's important.
So he said,
Stuff gotta run.
and that's what he said. He said, "Oh, without my job,
Yeah.
none of this shit don't happen."
right here.
Yeah.
I guess our engineer can agree to that, huh, Dee?
So it's a real, you know. So I, that's what I suggest. Just try to soak yourself in it as much as you can. With nowadays there's so much information out there. You can
There
go
is.
on YouTube now and get a tutorial on damn near everything.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. I still do that to this day. To this day, I'm still learning.
Yeah, learning. My son was telling me, you need to open up a book. And while I'm driving here, he's like, you need to read more. Didn't you tell me you need to read? You always told us to read. You need to open up a book and read. I said, he said, you're making. I said, look. I said, I can't read while I'm driving. He said, you read street sign. He said, Mom, you need to read more. I'm like, yeah, my 27-year-old son telling me I need to read more. But I always been an avid reader, and I always emphasize and impress upon my children that knowledge is power, and if you can read, you can do anything. So he had the audacity to tell me that, but I agree. I love learning, and if you get so to the point where you feel like you don't need to learn anything no more, you have just shut yourself in a box. And so that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always desiring to grow, to learn more. I mean, because things are always revolving. Life is revolving, it's moving, it's changing. So if we don't stay abreast, then we die.
And you never know
You
where
have to know
where
what's
you're gonna get
next.
information from.
Yeah.
So you never know. That's why I talk to all kind of people. It seems like I'm a magnet for for people that kind of been counted out a little bit.
Yes.
You know
That's
what I
it.
mean?
That's it. That
I
people,
feel like I'm the same way too.
I like that you said that people have counted people out, and that's for me. I'm the one that I know what it feels like to be counted out. I know what it feels like to be looked down upon, and it's
Yes.
okay because if I didn't go through those struggles
Right.
and those closed doors and those haters and those naysayers, so for me, I purpose in my heart to be better, to treat people better, and you will
Yes.
always hear me say on Sassy Sister to handle people with care because so many people have been
Yes.
mishandled in every capacity of life, whether it's at home,
Right.
at school, at work, at church, family member, whatever. So I purpose to handle people with care because people have counted people out. And,
Absolutely.
you know, it's just real talk.
Absolutely. And I vowed to not do that. I was that guy. You know, nobody wouldn't fucking hire. Nobody wouldn't get nothing. They wouldn't touch me like I was something's wrong with me. And it really messes with your confidence.
Yeah.
And so I had to really buckle back down, you know, really, you know, get back in tune with who I am, you know, because I believe that we all got greatness in us.
Yeah.
And I had to try to find some of it to get us where we at.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's very
Not
important.
saying I'm great. Don't misquote
But
me.
you are great. Well,
I'm
I'm
not.
gonna say
I'm
you
just
great.
saying I got greatness in me.
You are.
I'm
And
not
you can
saying
install it
you
in
know,
someone
No,
else.
I
we
let
speak.
you know I
we
let,
see you
I
are
let people,
great.
I let people decide how they feel about people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, I'm gonna give it everything I got, and I sleep well at night.
Some
for
people
that.
will take it and some
That's
people
awesome.
won't.
Well, I would
So,
say that you are great. I would say to anyone, yeah, you have to speak life. Like he said, if you don't believe in you, so you are great. You are phenomenal. You are a mighty man of
that
valor.
sound.
Yes.
You are an awesome woman. You know, I'm telling you, you inspire me. Just like you said, people watch.
With
I
2
watch.
cents?
Yeah. Tell us about that nickname. Thank you for
Tell
bringing
them
that
about
back
my
to. Tell me about
nickname,
2 cents. How you give it
Well,
that name?
actually, you know, everything in the beginning, she wasn't a part of the writing process.
No.
Actually, she wasn't part of any of it.
No. Hair was
and-
my thing.
And so she would always give me her opinion on something. If I let her read it, she'll read it and say, "Oh, this shit's stupid," or "Oh no, I don't like. You should change that," and stuff like that. So I was like, "Oh shit!" And then some of the stuff she started saying, it makes sense, and there was some great ideas. And then I was like, "Damn, I need to really incorporate her in this because some of the stuff that she come up with actually is really on point." And that's how she got involved. But that's how I named her 2 cents because she was gonna give me her 2 cents regardless.
Yeah, I always put my 2 cents in
That's
there.
right.
So now he say I'm like what? 50
You
cents?
like 65%.
Oh, see, now 65%.
I like
I
that.
It's
ain't
made a
used
long
that no
way.
more.
You made a long way with that.
You earned
I earned my
Yeah,
65
for real, though.
65 cents.
And that's one of them situations where you never know where the information gonna come from.
Yeah.
That's a power couple.
Because she's actually have some great ideas. And
And you were able to listen and not,
Yeah.
just let
That's
just
the
just
key.
it's to listen.
No.
Like you were able to just
Listen.
take
don't
the
size
information.
you up. Yeah, I gotta go home with don't size that up.
You was able to,
She gonna go home and say, like they said on the show, you need to listen to me.
See, he listened to you too. Now she's
yeah, 65 cents. You know,
Now
And she said, she 100%, she 100.
She 100.
Because you know why she 100? Because she stood by her man, this power couple.
Yes.
So you got to say 155%.
Yeah, and I can't say that. When I moved to LA, you know, it's not easy in a long distance relationship. It's actually pretty tough.
Yeah, we were by coastal for what?
Like
6
6 years. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Because I didn't want to close my business. You
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
so how did you guys like work that out?
Well,
the
I would
distance
fly.
and
I would
still-
fly back like once a month.
And I would fly out there more so when it was when the winters wintertime.
Uh-huh.
Because I just love LA weather.
California's
You can't
amazing.
beat LA weather, especially when it's winter here. So the minute they would call for like snowstorm, I'm like, oh, I'm on the first plane smoking. But yeah.
But it takes a special person and woman to deal with that, because of course you got the insecure people that think the worst of every situation.
Right.
That say, they can imagine the things that I may be doing in LA.
Yeah.
And even some people who told me, man, you cool with your wife being here and you ain't here? Nigga, you crazy. They says that stuff like that to me. But, I've always been a private person, so I don't never feed into any of that anyway.
Very wise, man.
And we was on a mission. The whole point was to get the information and to do what we do, so we can do what we do now.
And now you're doing it together.
And so
And y'all stay
it
focused.
paid off.
Yes.
Stay focused.
Yes.
Stay focused.
No
That's
distractions.
And besides that, before I got married, I had my fun, but now I'm married, I'm good. Look who
So
I'm
no
married to
fun?
now. No, I'm talking about, I did all the dating thing and all that stuff, and but now I'm good.
And 20 years later, look at
Yeah,
God.
20
That's
years later.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
man, I'm
And that
good.
speaks
Beautiful.
volume.
Yes.
Can you hold it down? Can y'all hold it down? Can you stand by your woman? Can you stand by your man and honor your marriage vow?
Yes.
Honor that covenant that you made between your wife, your husband, and God. That's awesome. And stay on the grind.
Yes,
And
stay on
do
the
what you got to
grind.
do for the family. Not only that, set an example for everybody you come in contact
Yes.
with.
Absolutely.
Leading
Exactly.
that people are watching. Someone's always watching. Set an example. So I know that the people out here today, I know there's somebody that was blessed by what you just shared.
Yes.
Because people like right home and can't trust their husband for going across the street. What you got off of work at 6:15. You should have been home by 7:00. So to be across country 3,000 miles away,
6 years.
and to keep the love and the commitment, the purpose and the passion. That's power right there to
Yes.
me.
Yeah,
And that's one of our
thank you.
missions too. Yeah, thanks. But that's one of our missions, even with the plays that we bring and write, is to just touch people. We want to touch
Show them
lives,
what you
and
can do.
it's amazing how like after every play, we have so many people coming up to us,
Testimonies,
yes, with testimonies saying, "Oh my God, this
Yeah.
happened to me. This happened to me." So.
Blessing people.
And even in prayer, during rehearsals, he always, if we touch one person,
That's right.
we've done our job.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And relationships are tough in itself. But if you keep the outside noise outside, then you're good. And then actually I forgot this guy's name. He played in Do the Right Thing. I think the guy that owned the pizza shop, played the Italian guy.
The Italian
yeah.
guy. Mm-hmm.
He been married like 50 years or something like
Wow.
that. And he said that I read this I saw his interview probably years ago, and he was said that him and his wife, they asked him how he says, how they do it for so long. He said him and his wife, an argument is just an argument, and you're gonna have disagreements, but it's never an argument that's fatal enough to make them not want to be together.
Okay.
And they take an argument as just that and leave it there. And when I heard that, I live by that now. And that's what
He'll leave it once I'm right. Like, yeah.
There you go. So it's a thing. Like I just heard Will Smith just said that. I'm just listening to interviews just said about him and Jada, and he said that they took divorce off the table. So
That's
Not an option.
so it's not an
Yes.
option.
That's amazing.
So
Yes.
so if that's not an option, the only other option is to fix what's wrong.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
And that's what we make sure we don't go to bed without discussing something that may got us upset or whatever. We fix it, because you're not gonna be walking around with me in the house and we ain't talking.
that's
That's crazy.
That's
to me.
crazy.
That's insane
Oh
to
my
me.
God.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's insane to me. And so we, even though people need their space sometimes, but you gotta fix what's wrong. At least talk about it.
Yeah.
That's just amazing because it's so important. People think, oh, you sleeping on the couch, or oh no, this and you don't know what you're doing. You're bridging a gap between you're opening a door for the enemy to come in and attack your marriage.
Yes.
So you're not allowing that. You said, no, we're gonna handle this right now and shut this thing down. And that's so
is so
very
true.
important
Yes.
because that's what the enemy comes to do, to destroy the marriage, to destroy the family. So you already got your foundation that this is not going down, and that speaks why you've been married for 20 years, and I pray that God give you a lifelong, lasting love affair, that you guys grow together to your 120 years old. I speak that upon both of your lives, and I just thank God for you all sharing, your secrets, and I aspire to be half of what you guys
Because a lot of people
one
aren't
day.
doing it anymore. A lot of people are opting out.
A lot of people compare themselves to other people, and
Yes.
that's a bad thing to do.
And that's what
But
messes them up.
Shouldn't do
what we
that.
try to do, what we try to do with the productions is put this information in the productions. That's real life stuff. So nobody really wants, especially grown people. They don't feel like they don't want you teaching them nothing. Like, come on, man. Like, I ain't really coming. That's people's attitude. But if you slide it through the entertainment way that we do, you actually learning something and not even realizing.
You got
you're
people
learning
looking at themselves, examining themselves.
Absolutely, because we try to write thought-provoking stuff
Yes.
that make when you leave the show, you talking about it, you thinking about it.
And make people want to be better.
We had, and on one quick note, we did a production called Decades, and somebody came to the production. They were there to support one of the actresses in the production, and they sent a message about the production. And they said that two characters in the production, they were going through what they were going through in real life.
Wow.
And that production may have saved their marriage.
Wow, look at that.
So that was deep.
So you use it as a
That was
ministering
deep.
tool.
Yeah. So, as long as we, people gain something, they feel better than they felt before they showed up, then we go.
And you feel like
Other
your job
than
is
Pam
done.
crying.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
But
That is amazing.
thank everybody out there for listening and tuning in too.
Yes.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all
So
out
any last thoughts, any nuggets that you want to drop to the people? Anything? How can they find you? Could you leave your information, how they can contact you?
Yeah, I'm Gil Nelson on everything. Gil Nelson on Facebook, Gil Nelson DC on Instagram, and Gil Nelson everything. DC all day.
All day. All day. And Pam?
Yeah, I'm Pam Nelson. I'm Pam Nelson on Facebook. I am the one chocolate strawberry on Instagram, and you can go to timelessentertainment.net
Oh yeah.
to
The website.
see any of our upcoming events and
Okay,
past
Timeless
events.
Entertainment.
Yes, that's timelessentertainment.net, and we will soon be having a couples social media page as well.
Yes,
So
I
that'll
was-
be coming soon.
And we got
We
some
haven't
things
named
coming
it
down.
yet.
Yeah, we got some things coming down the pipe too,
couples.
in reference to.
Yes, couples.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. I think I want to call it the outlet, but I'm not sure.
Oh,
We'll
that,
talk
no,
about
that's
it.
awesome. And
And
that's so, y'all gonna bless something.
Yeah.
Y'all see that?
Well, we got August 25th. Family Affair is the new stage production. We got Lawyer and Trust. We're gonna be doing a screening for that. It's gonna be an invitation only event for that.
Just to get some, different views.
And see how people
And
feel
then we'll
about
open
it.
it up
Get
to
a
the public.
yeah. Before we let it all out, you'll see the first episode
Okay.
for that.
We got a lot
what
to
else we
look
got?
forward to.
Oh yeah, we got
I
a
like
show
to have
called
something.
Situations. Me and her.
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
doing.
situation.
That's a relationship show.
That's our relationship
Oh.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
When is that
Can we know
And,
about
right
that?
now?
A little bit.
We're in the pre-production phase of that.
Okay. Always
But
has some
once we meet back up-
situations.
Yeah, always some situations, right?
Situations.
But yeah, we got
So
we
give
got a
us a
few.
little synopsis about situations.
Well, Situations is a relationship show,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna have guests on from time to time.
Okay.
And we'll talk about current issues that's going on.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about issues that couples go through, from
Okay.
anything from trust to
To leave it
communication
at solid see that.
to
I
yeah,
got
she
some-
leave it up all the time.
What about? No, I got one for
Lies.
you. Bringing a baby home, talking about it's your grandbaby and it's really your baby.
All of that.
Baby. That's a situation.
Yeah, I saw that on Fences.
You know, I could be.
I saw it in real life.
I'm telling you,
That's
real
a
life.
long,
That's why I'm
long past
But
history.
yeah,
Family
we got some stuff.
Situation.
Going on.
Situation.
Girl.
We got some good stuff coming down the pipe, and I'm really excited, grateful for all the support we've been getting, because that's just by the grace of God
Yes.
that people been showing up in numbers like that. That we haven't even had an opportunity to advertise other than social media.
Yeah.
The
That's
Soulsby
good.
show
Wow.
sold
That's
out,
good.
so we hadn't had an
That's
opportunity to do
good.
radio, none of the morning TV
TV,
shows.
nothing.
We haven't had an opportunity to do it because when you look up, it's sold out.
Wow.
And so we may be,
Those are peak
it depends
booths.
on how this one sell, if we'll add a show or not.
Okay.
But we let the public dictate that.
And we try to keep the shows at a good who is that?
It's that kid. Come on,
It's
kid.
crazy.
Come on over here and say hi.
just
Come on over here and give us a shout out.
We try to keep the shows at a good, at a cost where everybody can actually afford to come and enjoy themselves.
That's the one Keith gonna say.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, what day the show? He said good, because I make sure I'm busy.
Some food.
I saw you live.
Hey, Keith.
What time you showed us?
Keith is crazy.
And I was supposed to be walking this morning on Haynes Point with him at 7:00 this morning.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the F this fat movement. It was like I just gotta go. I get it together. But I thank you all so very much.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
look forward. I'm excited about everything that you're doing, and you definitely got me as your fan.
Thank you.
Me
So
too.
Thanks.
So we thank you for tuning in. And before we close the show, I always like to leave words of encouragement for the people. So as you watch this show, know that you can do anything. You can do anything. It's just get up and go. That dream, that vision you had, it didn't die. It only dies when you don't do something about it.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
today,
That's true.
whatever it is that you desire to do, go for it. Don't procrastinate. Don't hesitate. Tomorrow's not promised. Start it today. Your purpose, your passion, and your power is within you. Thank you for
Yes.
joining Sassy Sisters Real Talk, where real recognize real.
Yes.
Thank you.
All day.
Thank you.
Even if it's singular, even if it's singular, even if it's a thing you can be sure of.